Eleanor, a young writer seeking solitude, rented the old manor. It stood alone, shrouded in an eerie silence. Its grey stone facade, weathered by time, seemed to exude a sense of foreboding. As Eleanor stepped inside, a cold draft sent shivers down her spine. Dust particles danced in the faint streams of sunlight that pierced through the grimy windows. The air hung heavy with the scent of decay, and something else she couldn't quite place. Despite the unsettling atmosphere, Eleanor felt a strange allure to the place. She dismissed her apprehension, attributing it to the house's age and isolation. Little did she know darkness lurked within those ancient walls, waiting to be unleashed. Days turned into nights. Eleanor busied herself with unpacking and settling in, yet she couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched, of an unseen presence accompanying her every move. One evening, as she sat by the fireplace, she noticed fleeting shadows dancing at the edge of her vision. They seemed to writhe and twist, taking on grotesque shapes that sent chills down her spine. Eleanor tried to rationalize the shadows, blaming the flickering flames for playing tricks on her eyes. But deep down, a seed of unease had been planted, whispering of things unseen. The old house seemed to hold its breath, its silence amplifying every creak of the floorboards and groan of the settling timbers. Sleep offered no escape. Each night, Eleanor was plagued by vivid nightmares. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, whispering her name, beckoning her deeper into the darkness that enveloped the manor. One night she woke with a start, her heart pounding in her chest. A blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, followed by the sound of heavy footsteps echoing down the hallway. Terror lent speed to her limbs as she jumped out of bed and threw open the door. The hallway was empty, shrouded in an eerie silence. The scream seemed to linger in the air, a phantom echo of some unspeakable horror. Eleanor stood there, frozen in place, her mind struggling to reconcile what she had heard with the emptiness before her. As days turned into weeks, the strange occurrences intensified. Objects moved on their own, doors slammed shut without a breeze, and disembodied voices whispered Eleanor's name from the shadows. Then, one moonlit night, Eleanor saw her. A woman in a flowing white gown, her face obscured by the shadows, glided down the hallway. Her form was translucent, like mist clinging to the air. Eleanor gasped, her blood turning to ice. The ghostly figure turned its head towards her, and for a fleeting moment their eyes met. The woman's eyes were filled with a profound sadness, a longing that reached out from beyond the grave. Then, as quickly as she appeared, the woman in white vanished into thin air. Section 5. A ghastly discovery. Driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity, Eleanor began to research the history of the manor. She felt an inexplicable pull towards uncovering the secrets that lay hidden within its walls. She spent countless hours in the local library, poring over old newspapers and dusty records. Each piece of information she found seemed to weave a darker and more intricate web of mystery. Her search led her to a chilling discovery. The deeper she delved, the more she realized that the manor's past was shrouded in tragedy and sorrow. The manor had once been home to a wealthy family who met a tragic end. The family, once the epitome of grace and prosperity, had their lives abruptly cut short under mysterious circumstances. The husband, driven mad by grief after the untimely demise of his wife, had taken his own life and that of his children. The sorrow and madness etched into his face were evident in the old photographs Eleanor found. Local legend had it that their spirits remained trapped within the walls of the manor, forever seeking solace for their tormented souls. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the eerie occurrences and ghostly apparitions that plagued the manor. Eleanor's heart sank as she realized the truth in the local rumors. The weight of the manor's dark history pressed heavily upon her, and she felt a growing sense of dread. She was not alone in the house. The realization that she might be sharing the space with restless spirits sent chills down her spine, and she knew that her life would never be the same again. Section 6. The Attic Secret. One quiet afternoon, drawn by an unknown force, Eleanor found herself standing at the foot of the attic stairs. She had always felt a strange connection to this part of the house, but today the pull was stronger than ever. The air grew heavy, the temperature noticeably colder as she ascended the creaking steps. Each step seemed to echo louder than the last, as if the attic itself was aware of her presence. The attic was shrouded in darkness, the only source of light filtering through cracks in the boarded-up windows. The dim light cast eerie shadows that danced on the walls, creating an unsettling atmosphere. Dust-covered furniture and forgotten toys lay scattered across the floor, remnants of a happy past now tainted by tragedy. It was as if time had stood still in this forgotten space, preserving memories that were better left undisturbed. As Eleanor ventured deeper into the attic, her hand brushed against something cold and smooth. The sensation sent a shiver down her spine, and she hesitated for a moment before continuing. She flicked on her flashlight, its beam illuminating a large ornate mirror. The mirror seemed out of place in the dusty attic, its surface pristine and untouched by time. As Eleanor gazed into the mirror's depths, she noticed something unsettling. The reflection staring back at her was not quite right, as if the mirror held secrets of its own. Her reflection was distorted, twisted into a grotesque mockery of her own image. The sight filled her with a sense of dread, and she couldn't shake the feeling that the mirror was trying to tell her something. Section 7. Trapped. Panic surged through Eleanor as she realized she was trapped. The attic door slammed shut behind her, the sound echoing through the silent house. The mirror on the wall seemed to pulse with an eerie light, the distorted reflection of Eleanor beckoning her closer. Whispers filled her ears, growing louder, more insistent, urging her to join them in their realm of darkness. Eleanor stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. She was trapped with malevolent entities, their power growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation clawed at Eleanor's mind. She had to escape, to break free from the clutches of the spirits that held her captive. Section 8. Escape. Eleanor's eyes darted around the attic, desperately searching for an escape route. The air was thick with dust, and the dim light barely illuminated the room, casting long, eerie shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. She noticed a small window at the far end of the attic, its glass cracked and cobwebbed. It was her only chance. The window was barely large enough for her to fit through, but she had no other option. With renewed determination, Eleanor grabbed a nearby chair and smashed it against the window. The sound of breaking glass echoed through the attic, a sharp contrast to the oppressive silence that had filled the room moments before. Shards of glass rained down as she squeezed through the narrow opening, cutting herself on the jagged edges. Blood trickled down her arms, but she didn't let it slow her down. The pain was a small price to pay for her freedom. Ignoring the pain, Eleanor scrambled down the side of the house, dropping to the ground below. The night air was cold and biting, but it was a welcome change from the stifling attic. She didn't stop running until she was far away from the manor, its looming silhouette a haunting reminder of the horrors she had endured. Her heart pounded in her chest, and her breath came in ragged gasps, but she felt a sense of relief wash over her. As she ran, she could have sworn she heard the faint sound of laughter echoing from the attic window, a chilling reminder that she had escaped their clutches. But they were still there. The laughter sent a shiver down her spine, but she pushed herself to keep moving, determined to put as much distance between herself and the manor as possible. Section 9. The Haunting Remains. Eleanor never returned to the manor. The experience left her shaken, haunted by the memories of the horrors she had witnessed. The old house still stands to this day, its windows dark, its secrets locked within its decaying walls. Some say the manor is cursed, forever haunted by the spirits of those who met their untimely end within its walls. And on moonlit nights, if you listen closely, you might just hear the faint echoes of laughter carried on the wind, a chilling reminder of the chilling encounter that took place within those haunted walls. Was Eleanor truly haunted by spirits? Or was it all a figment of her imagination, driven by fear and isolation?